Have you ever been working on a Minecraft Bedrock Edition project, and before you know it, the sun has set and it's nighttime once again? No matter how much you sleep, it seems like these days go by in the blink of an eye, and if you don't sleep, then the nighttime drags on forever. Well, I have a new solution for you with this Minecraft Bedrock Edition behavior pack. See, normally you only have 10 minutes for the daytime and 10 minutes for the nighttime, and although it's 10 minutes for each, it surely does not feel like it, especially if you're wrapped up in a big project. So if you're wanting to use this behavior pack, what you're going to want to do is add this to your world, and then you're going to run the period day-night cycle off command. As soon as you run that, it's going to set the vanilla day-night cycle to false, which means that the sun and the moon will of course stop moving, which of course would be a bad thing if we were not artificially controlling it. Now, the only reason why the sun and the moon has completely stopped in this video is because I have the day and night set to an extremely high value, and if I happen to want to see what those were set to, I can just type in the command period world times. That's going to actually show me the world times that this is set to, which is set to about 1 million on the daytime and 1 million at the nighttime. So the way that we're going to change these values is we're going to type in a period and then daytime and then a space and the value of time that we want after this. So by default, whenever you download this pack, it's going to be set to the default time of 10 minutes day, 10 minutes night, which gives you the full 20-minute day-night cycle that is traditionally from the vanilla Minecraft. So to replicate that, we can put in 10 minutes for the daytime. And if you look up, you can see that we have the normal 10-minute daytime sun movement. And if I place my cursor right here, you can actually compare the sun against it and see that it is actually moving pretty slowly. Now we can of course speed this up as well. If you wanted the time to be, say, 1 minute for the day, we can set that to a 1. And then that sun is just going to start scooting across the sky, heading towards the horizon. And then as you can see, once it gets down to the horizon, it's actually going to go into the nighttime mode, which is going to change the speed of it. And because the nighttime is still set to 1 million, that is actually going to pretty much stop in its tracks. Although it hasn't actually stopped, it is just moving so slow that we are unable to really see the movement of it. However, if we were to change the nighttime to 1 minute, you'll be able to see that that's going to start moving again at the same speed, and that's basically going to move across the sky at the rate of making the entire night cycle 1 minute long, which is amazing. So I can set the daytime back up to 100 minutes, and once that moon comes around, it's going to basically stop once it gets to daytime. However, the moon is not what really tracks it. It's going to be the sun. So you can see the moon still kind of risen. However, the sun is just coming across the horizon, and now it's going to start creeping up very slowly because it's moving at 100 minutes for the daytime. So yes, we can essentially have it to where we have the night duration 1 minute long and the day duration 100 minutes long. Now I have actually modified these away from the traditional values that Minecraft considers day or night. And the reason why I did that is because, well, it's actually quite funky having those default values set for day and night. Let me show you what I mean, because that can come off as kind of confusing. So as you can see, I've set the day and night time to a astronomically large value. That way the sun does not move at all. And the Minecraft day is actually considered to be day if it's between the tick of 0 and 11,999. For those of you that don't know, there's actually 24,000 ticks in a Minecraft day. So if we set the tick to 0, as you can see, this would, from this point and moving forwards, be considered day. So as you can see, the sun is up quite a bit. So if I were to remove 1,000 ticks, that would put us at 23,000 ticks, and this point would still not be considered day. If we added 500 ticks, that would put us at 23,500, which would be this. This still would not be considered day. It would only be considered day once it reaches 0 or higher, which would be this point, which could lead to some pretty funky stuff over the horizon if you were to set these at 2 different speeds. Say that you wanted the nighttime to go by at 5 minutes and the daytime at 30 minutes. Well, then the sun would basically race up to the horizon until it got to this point, and then at that point it would then go by the technical daytime. The same thing applies for the other flip of the coin. So at nighttime, it would then be considered nighttime after 12,000 ticks. And to demonstrate what 12,000 ticks is, we can set it to 12,000 ticks. And then from this point going forwards, that would be considered nighttime. So once it makes the transition over to the nighttime timer, You could have some odd speed transitions going from the daytime and nighttime depending on what they're set at. So with all technicalities aside, I did change this to where 23,000 ticks all the way up until 13,000 ticks would be considered daytime, and anything in between that would be considered nighttime. And to show you what that looks like, I can set the time to 13,001. And as you can see, the sun is just going to be peaking below the horizon there. And if I change it to the other flip of the coin, which would be 22,999, you can see the day would actually start once the sun starts to break the horizon. I think that doing it this way made a whole lot more sense. However, I'd love to hear your opinion on this down in the comments below. Let me know if I should keep it this way or if I should change it. So I'm sure the next question is probably, well, I don't want people just randomly changing the day and night time if they were to get a hold of the command inside of my world. And of course, just like any other command that I deem to be an admin command, this does have to have a special admin tag. And that tag is going to be the day-night admin tag. It's very important to have the case sensitivity just like it is here. That way the tag works correctly. And as you can see, if I remove that tag and then I try to set the nighttime to 5, it's going to tell us that we don't have permission to run this command, which is wonderful. There is also one last command that shows all of the other commands. So you could type in period day night commands, hit enter, that's going to bring up all of the commands that you can run. And it does show which ones are going to be the admin commands and which ones are not. So any of the players in the world can run the day night commands. That way they can see the commands that are applicable to them, which in this case would just be the day night commands and the world times. So you can type in period world times, and as you can see, that's going to work just fine and bring up the extremely large values that I set the day and night to. However, any of the other commands are going to require that admin tag. So if I add back that admin tag so I can actually use the commands, I think a really good place to start if you're looking at extending your Minecraft vanilla experience would be setting the daytime to 30 and maybe setting the nighttime to 5 or 10. Just be careful as the world owner. You might want to keep in mind that some players can only use the farms at nighttime, such as the phantom farms and the newly added creaking farms. So just keep that in mind. And of course, if you wanted to have it always night where you could just constantly use your creaking farm, you could always set nighttime to an extremely high value. For this example, I'm going to leave it at 10. If we run the world times command, you can see that's going to be reflected on the screen here. And I think that this should be a good starting point for survival gameplay, as the days now should be 3 times longer and the nighttime duration should be the same time. Let me know what you think about this pack down inside of the comments below. Any questions, comments, or concerns can go down there as well, or you can always reach out on my public Discord. All the links for that is down inside of the description. If you're new here, consider subscribing and drop a like if you have not, as it really helps out the video. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!